Today we are doing lesson 10.5, Make Bar Graphs. The essential question, how do you make a bar graph to show data? Listen and draw. Use the bar graph to solve the problem. Draw or write to show what you did. Let's look at our labels first. This bar graph is about writing tools in the box. Numbers are always telling us the number of something, and this is number of writing tools. On the bottom, our label tells us that these are the writing tools that are in the box: chalk, crayon, marker, and pencil. The problem is, Barry made this bar graph. How many writing tools are in the box? So they're asking us, what's the total of all of the writing tools that are here in this graph? So we need to do a number sentence, and because we're looking for a total, we're going to add. If I look at my bar graph, I can see that there are 3 for chalk, 4 for crayon, 3 for markers, and 5 for a pencil. I need to add to get a total here. 3 plus 4 is 7. 3 plus 5 is 8, and 7 plus 8 is 15. So there are 15 writing tools in this box. For our math talk, describe how the information in the graph for crayon and for marker is different. Well, if I look at the crayon, I can see that there are 4 crayons in the box. If I look at the marker, I can see that there are 3 markers in the box. It's different because crayon is 1 more than the marker, or the marker is 1 less than the crayon. I'm going to turn our paper over. We will be on page 678, and we are looking at Model and Draw. Abel read 2 books, Zhang read 4 books, Kara read 1 book, and Jamila read 3 books. Complete the bar graph to show this data. So this bar graph is about books that are read. The numbers always tell us about number of something, and this is number of books that were read. And then children, these are the children who read for this graph: Abel, Zhang, Kara, and Jamila. So they've already put the information in for Abel and Zhang. Abel had 2, Zhang had 4. Kara read 1. So I'm going to start in that first box and just shade that in quickly. And Jamila read 3. So for Jamila, I'm going to go up to the 3rd box. Sometimes it's helpful to put a mark in the box so that you know where to start, or you can just look at the number and go across and shade that in. And now I have all of my data in this bar graph. Share and show. Ella is making a bar graph to show the kinds of pets her classmates have. 5 classmates have a dog, 7 classmates have a cat, 2 classmates have a bird, 3 classmates have fish. Write labels and draw bars to complete the graph. So this whole graph is about our pets, the pets that these classmates have. So you can trace over those letters if you would like to. The numbers always tell us number of something, and it's easier if you turn your paper sideways to trace over that and write number of classmates, because this is how many classmates have that pet. And then on the bottom, they have dog, cat, bird, and fish, and those are the different kinds of pet that they were telling how many they had. So now we need to get our data into this graph. They've already done dog. 5 classmates have a dog. They started at 5. 7 classmates have a cat. So I'm going to go up to the 7 and shade down. Two classmates have a bird. I'm going to go to the 2 and shade down. And 3 classmates have fish. Go to the 3 and shade down. Now, number 2 says, how will the graph change if one more child gets a bird? So if one more child gets a bird, what do we have to do? We would have to add one more box. We would have to shade in one more box for bird. We would shade one more box for bird. And now there would be 3 children that have birds, and our graph would change. Go to the next page. This is on your own, so you will be finishing this by yourself, but I am going to explain it to you. Dexter asked his classmates which pizza topping is their favorite. 4 classmates chose peppers, 7 classmates chose meat, 5 classmates chose mushrooms, and 2 classmates chose olives. Write a title and labels for the bar graph and draw bars in the graph to show the data. All right, so what is this whole graph about? I'm going to help you out here with the labels. If you would like to do the labels on your own first and then check to see if you are correct, you should pause the video here. And once you have your labels done, you can come back and see if you have the same labels that I do. So what this graph is about is their favorite toppings. So we're going to put favorite toppings. If you wrote favorite pizza toppings, that would be fine also. This label here, what are these things? Peppers, meat, mushrooms, olives. You can turn it sideways to make it easier to write. They are toppings. That's what the word they used up here in this word problem. And then down here on the bottom, we have all these numbers, and I've been telling you that when you have numbers, it always stands for number of something. So this is number of classmates. Now you'll need to go back and look at the data that they gave you at the top and make those bars on this graph. And then the question is, which topping did the most classmates choose? You'll write one of these toppings here on this line. And number 6 says, did more classmates choose peppers and olives than meat? Explain. I'm going to give you a hint here and remind you that you need to find out what the total is for peppers and olives before you can answer that question. So you'll need to write a number sentence here, and then you need to explain how you got that answer. Turn your paper over. And this is problem solving. And again, you're going to complete a graph. Cody asked his classmates which zoo animal is their favorite. 6 classmates chose bear, 4 classmates chose lion, 7 classmates chose tiger, 3 classmates chose zebra. Use the data to complete the bar graph and write a title and labels and draw the bars. Again, I'm going to help you fill in these titles. If you would like to do it on your own, first pause the video here, and then when you're finished you can come back and check and see if you have the same thing that I do. So for our title, what is this whole graph going to be about? It's going to be about favorite zoo animal. And you do have to write pretty small to fit it in that space. Okay, on the side we have numbers. So numbers are always about number of something. So number of And again, it's going to be number of classmates because they are voting. And for the bottom, we have bear, lion, tiger, and zebra. What are those? Those are zoo animals. Now you're going to go back and use this information in the blue box to complete your bar graph. And then you'll answer this question. How many fewer classmates chose lion than classmates that chose the other zoo animals? How many fewer classmates chose the lion than all of the other zoo animals? Now I'm going to give you a hint. You need to find out how many other zoo animals there are before you can figure out how many fewer. So you're going to need two number sentences. One to figure out how many other zoo animals that there are, and then to figure out how many fewer. And the last question says, look at the bar graph above. Suppose two of Cody's classmates chose zebra instead of bear. Explain how the bar graph would change. So what would happen if two of them changed their mind and didn't choose the bear, but they chose zebra instead? What would you have to do to the bar graph to make it be correct? When you have completed all of that, your assignment is done.